So hi, long time no see. So we've officially reached our 1 year mark as living full-time in an RV, which is pretty amazing. So we've written down a bunch of things that we've learned and a bunch of questions that we get, so we'll try and make this as quick as possible, but it might end up being super long. Okay, so first thing that's really come a long way is Sean's driving. I remember our first day out, we were on our way to Ohio, and we were in traffic, and there was construction, and there Sean is, stiff as a board, just not moving, and now he's singing along to Johnny Cash, and...
It's only our house driving.
Well, he's a lot more relaxed, which is a long way from what it was. Never mind that you do it for a living now.
Yeah.
Having less stuff is a lot easier than I thought it would be, and it's a lot more amazing than I thought it would be. We can clean up the house in like 20 minutes, and that includes vacuuming and sweeping and that stuff. Mister, I'm not going to talk.
Because I can't read anything.
It's really easy to pick out what you want to wear. Your wardrobe is just so much more condensed. When you go shopping, especially for us, we like to go to Walmart to do a lot of our grocery shopping. So, for the most part, I'd say we're a lot more mindful when we go shopping. Do we have space for this? Do we really need it? Is there room in the fridge or the freezer? Or is it just added weight that we have no place to put it? So, that's a lot easier on us now, I think.
RV fridge is only so big. We got 3 weather apps that we use to keep track of the weather, especially when we only had the motorcycle for transportation. We had to know if it was going to be raining out, what was coming, if it's going to be really windy while we're driving, that sort of stuff. Like when we had the hurricane, we could get away from that. We knew where it was going and when we should start heading back.
Yeah, that was a big thing. The projected path of Irma was so different. Initially they said that it was going to hit the west coast and come right for Charleston, and then all of a sudden it's going right through Atlanta. So we were able to scurry our way out of here and press a couple of buttons and attach the motorcycle trailer, and off we went. And we didn't have to leave anything behind. It was really nice.
Yeah.
And we had a hot tub.
Yeah, that was nice. Stickers. We get stickers from everywhere that we go. Like any sites that we stop and see, national parks, stuff like that, monuments. We use stickers and put them on the wall and fill up the wall with stickers instead of changing out the wallpaper or painting anything. It's a lot cheaper than renovating the RV, and also it's great conversation starter when people look at it and they say, where'd you get that from, or were you actually there, or what was that place like? We have something to talk about. And it also helps us remember everywhere that we've been, because sometimes you forget some of the places that you've been. You look at the wall and say, oh yeah, we were at the Abraham Lincoln Memorial and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. And it's cheap.
Yeah, so the next one I can talk about a bit more. I know some people know this, but I am fairly active in the conservation side. I sign a lot of petitions, and I help out for the National Wildlife Federation, the foundation, right? WWF, World Wildlife Fund, and Oceana. So that's kind of influenced our decision in a couple of different things. Like, for instance, we use paper plates, or we try to use paper plates more than regular plates having to wash dishes. It's a really big thing on the East Coast. a lot of places, grocery stores, chains, everything, they're starting to go more towards either reusable bags or paper bags. Just because the hurricanes, if you have plastic ones, they'll get swept out into the ocean. And I've learned a lot being down here. I mean, one plastic bag can kill over 100 dolphins over a period of 75 years. Sea turtles do not know the difference between plastic bags and jellyfish. And what's also really sad is that 99% of all seabirds in the entire world will have plastic in their stomachs by 2050. So that's just kind of gross to me. And another thing I guess I'll wrap up the paper plates with is that 1 year of saving, not printing anything out, not doing any paper products and everything, saves roughly 8.5 trees. And I know Sean doesn't like this statistic because it has to deal with ground beef, but if you don't eat beef for a year, it saves just over 3,400 trees. So that's pretty intense. So to kind of go off of that a little bit, we also have to watch our water. We only have so big of a tank that can hold all of our water. We don't really want to use all of our well water. We're in a drought right now. So I mean, we have to take quicker showers, turn off the water when we're brushing our teeth, that sort of thing. So it's just a lot to think of, a lot to remember, especially having to turn the hot water heater on when you want hot water.
Yeah.
I'm pretty bad at that still.
Alright, so that's one page.
Yes.
Next page. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, so wildlife. I'm sure you can probably hear some of the bugs going off around us right now. We have a lot of wildlife around here, so we have a ton of birds. We have blue jays, cardinals, we have giant woodpeckers, skinks, lizards, deer, tree frogs, ants
There's a bird
that
in that
bite.
tree right there. You can't see where it is, but you see the branches moving.
Not very many squirrels, but I think that's because we live close to a national forest, so they kind of have learned their lesson, stay over there and not so much where there are people. The mouse.
Oh yeah, there was a mouse in the camper over winter. It got in the camper, and the cat played with it for a little while. I was so proud of her. She caught it right off the bat, and then she proceeded to let it go and chase it around. It ran underneath the bedroom slide, and I went to open the slide, or went to close the slide to see where it went, and it crushed it. So we took care of that yeah. Before it did any damage.
And before it started smelling.
Yeah. Next thing is tire covers. We love our tire covers. I don't currently have any on because I just got back from New York, but they definitely help out a lot saving the tires. I've seen it firsthand at where I work. I work at an RV dealership right now, and I've seen campers come in that are only a few years old, but they've been stored somewhere in direct sunlight, and on one side of the camper all the tires are dry rotted and slightly lighter color than the tires on the other side, and that's from being in the sun all the time. So we use our tire covers religiously, put them on if we're going to be somewhere for more than a few days, because tires for motorhomes are expensive.
Very expensive.
Yeah, very expensive. Alright, next thing.
Holidays can be kind of hard. You obviously want to spend it with family, you want to go somewhere or do something. But even in a motorhome, like Christmas for instance, what are we supposed to get each other? Do we just, be adults and, buy each other tires and, stuff like that for Christmas? But I mean, we've had some amazing people come into our lives. One lady at my work actually made us a small little Christmas tree about that big, and it's perfect, and it was so thoughtful and amazing, and it's just perfect. So I mean, there's pros and cons. Sean still got an egg hunt this year for Easter,
Yeah.
so that was pretty fun.
Yeah. All right. Next one is do-it-yourself RV fixing. It's expensive to take your RV somewhere to get it fixed, and there's almost always going to be something broke. We've got stuff in there right now that's broke. I got a drawer that I have to fix because it had too many pots and pans in it, and that came apart. We just recently had the main slide for the living room. The slide motor went out.
The slide lights still don't work.
Yeah, slide lights don't work. I fixed the slide motor, and that, through working in an RV dealership, has given me the opportunity to find out that you can find every single part for your RV online. You don't have to take it somewhere to have them find it. If you can see the part that's broken, if you can diagnose what problem is broken or what is broken, if you can pull it off, there's probably a part number on there, and when a manufacturer's number, something like that, and you can find it online, and you can save a lot of money, because they'll charge you at least $130 just in labor per hour to fix it, and it could be something as simple as, like when the slide motor went out, all I had to do was take it off and put on a new one, and that would have taken them quite a while.
Well, and then we had switch problems too.
Yeah, there was a switch that didn't work, and diagnosing that, figuring out what's wrong with that would have taken a while. For a switch that only costs like $7, it's a little bit ridiculous. So, I mean...
And that's just all this, like, within the past 2 months, probably.
It was longer than that. Like
3 months.
Yeah, 3 months.
Ish. So, I mean, there's more than that, but that's, like, the most recent
Yeah, it's the most recent things. I mean, it can get more expensive, like if your hot water heater goes out, or your water heater. You don't need to heat water if it's already hot.
The fridge.
Yeah, or a fridge. Those things are quite expensive to fix. If one of those goes, but you could save yourself a bunch of money by doing it yourself. It's not that hard to do. Everything's pretty much right there. It's just getting things in and out of the RV. It could be a problem. But do it yourself if you can. If you're not handy with, fixing stuff, look it up on YouTube. Somebody else has probably had the same problem, and they've made a video about it.
So join all those Facebook groups.
Yeah.
Yeah. You might get annoyed by people complaining about the same problem over and over again, but because so many people complain about things, you also get a lot of troubleshooting answers in the comments.
Yeah.
So that's pretty helpful.
Look for RV groups. Like we joined an RV group on Facebook called Georgie Boy Owners, because we have a Georgie Boy motorhome, and that has been an awesome group. We're lucky enough to have all the owner's manuals and the manuals for everything that's in our RV, but if you don't, or you need a wiring diagram or something and you put it out there, somebody will have it. And they'll put up a link to it or something like that, and you'll be able to work your way through the problem. But it definitely does save a lot of time.
And money.
And money. If
a lot of
you
money.
fix the problems yourself, especially if you're going to be full-time. A lot of RV places, if you bring your RV in to get it fixed, it's not going to happen that day, and they probably won't let you stay in it on their lot. So, I mean, it's just save yourself a lot of time. All right, next thing is laundry.
Yeah. Last summer it was pretty decent. I mean, we were staying at campgrounds that always had some sort of a laundry facility, so you had to pay, like the quarters for laundry, but personally I wasn't used to actually having to bring my laundry anywhere other than downstairs into a basement right into the dryer, where I don't have to pay money for, like right then and there. But after we sort of parked here, we did our own laundry in the bathtub for a little bit, just because we didn't have a car, we only had the motorcycle, and toting around an entire bag of laundry on the back of a motorcycle with, laundry detergent and dryer sheets and stuff like that, it doesn't make a lot of sense. So That was a different thing, but now we have vehicles and we can do laundry. So, and we've been, but
Yeah.
that was different.
And next thing is, it's not as expensive as we thought it was going to be to travel. If you do your research and you plan ahead, you can save yourself a lot of money by not booking the campsite that's right there. If you go like 15-20 minutes away further, you'll save yourself $15 or $20. And gas prices, we don't ever let the motorhome get below half a tank. Usually we start looking for a gas station when it gets to three-quarters of a tank. And when it gets just below if it's in between three-quarters and a half, we know it costs anywhere from $60 to $80 to fill it up again. And usually, we can make it to any destination that we're going to, only stopping once, maybe twice, to fuel up, and we're set. So we thought it would be more expensive than that. When we first got it, it only had a quarter tank of gas, and it cost me $170 to fill it. It's a 75 or 77 gallon fuel tank. Yeah, it's not as expensive as we thought it would be, especially with, we use Good Sam for a discount, and then some of them campgrounds that you find that are already cheaper, a lot of them take Good Sam, you can get another 10% off. So.
And it's fun to not always be in the center of things. For instance, when we were in Tennessee, we stayed roughly 45 minutes outside of Nashville, and we didn't have the hustle and bustle of the city. We weren't paying $70 a night to camp. I think we paid like $15 a night or $20 a night.
Yeah. And it was quiet, number one, because we weren't right near the thruway. A lot of these major campsites, campgrounds that you're paying for are right off the thruway. They're not far from the thruway, so you can hear the semis going by, stuff like that. Yeah, it's convenient to pull off, but then you don't have the silence, and there's going to be a lot of other people there because it's so close to the freeway. It's so easy to get to. So just going a little bit further, you might get to see some better stuff. Like she was talking about at that campground, they actually had horses there.
And if you wanted to hear a real Southern accent that you won't understand, even if you're used to hearing a Southern accent. Like we went for a walk around the campground, and there was this lady talking to us, and I kept having to say, "Huh? Excuse me? I beg your pardon? No, I can't. I can't make out what you're saying."
Yeah.
So it's fun. New experience.
Yep. All right. And the big one is internet.
Yeah.
Before we left, we did a little bit of research on hotspots and stuff like that. We didn't want to go with a signal booster because all that does is boost a signal that might not have, that big of a bandwidth or whatever they call it. We didn't want to boost a bad internet connection. There was no point to that. It wouldn't help us out at all.
No.
So we got a MiFi from Verizon, and it's pretty much pointless and useless.
It's nice when you need to update your phone.
Yeah, our phones won't update
unless
it connects to internet. So that's about the only thing we use it for anymore. They say it's unlimited. We paid extra money to have an unlimited data plan, but you only get 10 or 15 gigabytes of unlimited 4G data, and after that it goes down to 3G, and it takes forever to do anything. Like if we're trying to upload a YouTube video, it takes forever, and we might only get one, maybe two videos uploaded with the 4G speed. And we tried it. We told them we didn't want it anymore. It wasn't working for us, and they said that's too bad, and you signed a contract. So they said that we were told about that, but we were never told. So it's pretty much useless. It just sits there. Once a month, we use it for 2 days, and then it just sits there.
I mean, for Netflix, it's pretty decent.
Yeah, when it's working. It doesn't always have the best connection. Our cell phones we use as a hotspot most of the time, and they'll have 4 or 5 bars, and the MiFi will only have 1 or 2. So if you're looking at mobile hotspots and you're considering the Verizon MiFi, I don't know. That's our input on it, is we wouldn't have gotten it.
These mosquitoes are starting to like.
Yeah. Next one.
Hold on. Oh, so close. Check state and county laws. So if you plan on full timing but not traveling, not all states and not all counties allow full-time RV living.
They'll have, if they do, they'll have rules for it. Like you can't stay in your motorhome for more than 30 days, or you have to move it every 14 days or something like that. Because like right now in South Carolina, they consider anybody that lives in a motorhome homeless, even though some of the motorhomes cost more than people's actual homes. So I don't understand that, but we move around enough to the point where it's not a problem with us.
Can we pause for a second and spray bug spray? We're gonna pause.
Yeah.
All better.
All right. So we were at, you were gonna say?
Adjusting to outside temperatures. Being from Buffalo, you know, we did all the southern states pretty much during the summer. So I think we adjusted pretty well. I mean, we adjusted really quickly too. I remember being in Louisiana and it was like 82 or something, and we were cold. So that was pretty intense. Right now it's like 84-ish, I think. And it's not bad. It's humid, but it's not bad.
Fairly comfortable right now, considering it was 89 earlier today.
Yeah, so it's...
And 1,000% humidity.
You adjust to it, so I mean, I don't know. It's not as bad as people think. So we're going to move on to a list of frequently asked questions that we get. So we're almost done, we promise. Sorry, it's turning into a fairly long video, but
all right.
That's what we have.
So one of the questions we get asked quite a bit, or I get asked quite a bit, working at an RV place, is what RV clubs or groups are we members of? We're only members of 2.
No. We have Good Sam, so the regular Good Sam membership. We have Good Sam Roadside Assistance. We have Escapees. We have AAA. We have Harvest Hosts.
Alright, but the only ones that are actually RV related are
Harvest
Good Sam,
Host.
Harvest Host, and Escapees.
And Escapees, yeah.
Going off of Good Sam,
And we have Geico Roadside Assistance.
I recommend Good Sam as a discount to get at campgrounds. I don't recommend Good Sam for shopping at Camping World. Just because if you actually go in there and you use your Good Sam card and you get that price off, and then you look up whatever you just bought, you can usually get it cheaper than that almost anywhere else.
Harvest Hosts, it really paid off. You pay a one-time fee, and for the entire year or however long of a membership you purchased, you get to stay at any participating location overnight, normally with no hookups, for free. So that's a really great deal and really amazing, and a lot of the stops are wineries.
Yeah. And what else I was going to say about camping, or about Good Sam Roadside Assistance, is that it doesn't cover you in all the states. I don't know when they changed it, but they did change it so that it no longer applies to every single state. So you just gotta watch out for that. Let's see.
All right, what was your favorite place to explore and why?
Yeah. I don't know. I like Mammoth Caves. I like Kentucky. That was my favorite one so far.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say that's mine too. I also really liked Weehewachee Springs. Aside from the whole, wanting to be a mermaid thing.
Yeah.
you got to do a lot in the park. So the entry fee allows you to go in the water park, play around in there. You also get a free boat tour. It's the same river that Johnny Weissmuller's Tarzan was filmed in. You get an animal show. You get just so much to do there. What was your favorite campground and why?
Alright. I like the last one that we were at. The last
In
one,
Virginia?
Yeah. The last one that we were at.
I don't even know what it was called.
It was called, I have the paper for it in there. It's called like Fancy Gap.
Yeah, Fancy Gap.
Fancy Gap Campground.
Campgrounds and cabins, or cabins and campgrounds, or something like that.
Yeah, and that one was really nice. It was quiet. It was kind of far out of the way. It was clean. It was really well maintained, and it was very inexpensive. The hookups were in decent spots. Some campgrounds you go to, and you know your water is really far away. I mean, or if you can hook up to your water, you can't hook up to the power. If you can hook up to the power, you're not going to be able to hook your sewer up. I mean, we stayed at one campground where I've got 25 feet of sewer hose, and I still had to move the RV back so that the sewer hookup, so I could hook up to the sewer. I mean, that was quite inconvenient. But then we stayed at other campgrounds where they're all right next to each other. So
Yeah.
I really liked the layout of that one. It was really easy to get into our spot, and it was quiet.
I don't know.
It was fairly level as well. That's another thing.
Yeah. I still am a fan of the first one we were at.
That Elizabethtown.
The Crossroads.
Elizabeth.
Yeah. That was really nice. Pull-through sites, really quiet, great bathrooms.
Yeah.
Just a great first campground experience.
You just liked that they had a pool. Alright, that brings us to things we look for in RV parks. I look for easy access spots with convenient hookups and a site that's fairly level. I don't care if it's got a picnic table. We've got a picnic table. I don't care if it's stone or concrete or paved. I would just like it to be something other than grass and dirt. I mean, I've got things to put down underneath the jacks if I need to. That's what I look for. But what do you look for, not being the one that has to set everything up and take everything down?
I look, even before we book a campground, I look at a lot of the reviews online. So is it a great place to stay? Is it super close to the thruway where you hear the thruway traffic? You know, is it messy? Is it, well kept? Is there anything to do? Like, is there a pool? Is there a hiking trail? Stuff like that.
Alright, moving along.
And especially with him, I have to make sure that it's not off some crazy back road that's hard to get to.
No, just because there's a campground on the road doesn't mean that it's an RV friendly route.
Yeah.
There's been a couple roads that we've been on where the RV took up almost the entire road. If there was another car coming, we'd almost have to stop and pull off the road so that they can get by us. And if something happened, if you had a blowout, you're pretty much stopping in the middle of the road till you get it fixed. Or low tree branches, or low bridges. We were recently at somewhere where to get there, I had to go under a bridge that was literally about 6 inches taller than the motorhome is. So that was fun. They don't mention that in their, on your way to the campground, be aware of. But yeah.
If they provide directions on their website, use the directions.
Alright. Next is, I'm guessing it's a question for me.
What is it like driving your house around the country?
It's it's convenient and nerve-wracking. It's convenient because everything's right there. If you need anything, it's right there. You can grab it. You can get me something to drink. We have food. If you gotta go to the bathroom, you just pull over.
Or he doesn't have to stop when I have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I don't have to stop when she has to go to the bathroom. it's convenient in that aspect. It's nerve-wracking because if somebody slams into me, that's our house. I mean, if we hit something, if anything happens, that's our house. If it were to break down and be something that I couldn't fix or would have to go somewhere to get fixed, like a transmission problem or something like that I couldn't fix, we're going to have to get a hotel room.
That takes animals.
Yeah, that takes animals. So, yeah, that's about sums it up.
How are the pets when you are traveling? Well, the cat still isn't a fan of it, but she's getting a lot better. She's not hiding as much after we stop. She sort of knows, all right, when the slides go out or when people start walking around, I can come out of hiding.
Yep.
The dog doesn't really care. He sleeps through most of it. And the ferrets are pretty much oblivious.
Yep.
But have you experienced any learning curves?
Yeah, definitely the whole RV thing in general. Everything that goes into it, the maintenance-wise, doing the roof seals and keeping it clean, and driving has been one big thing. It doesn't matter how fast I'm going. The speed limit could be 55, I could be doing 70, and people are still going to want to pass me. And then they'll pass you, they'll get in front of you, and then they'll slow down to the speed limit and probably want to get off at the very next exit. It's just ridiculous.
Don't drive through DC in a motorhome during rush hour.
Yeah.
Bad idea.
Yeah.
Take a Xanax if you're a passenger.
How do you not kill each other / fight all the time living in such a small space? Because I love you.
I think the big thing is communication. You sort of have to remember you're not a mind reader, your partner's not a mind reader. If you want something to get done, say it. Don't just expect the other person to be like, oh, well, I know she wants that done, so I should probably do that.
Yeah. And also sometimes it is good to just go outside and do something. I mean, some of the campgrounds we've had, they'll have like a pond or something like that. If you want to go out and check it out, and then the other person doesn't, just you can go out and check it out, come back in, or go out on an adventure together and see something.
It's not like we're inside the whole time.
We're not
I mean,
constantly inside. I mean, the whole reason we decided to do this is so we could get out and do more and see more. So I mean, that takes away from a lot of any aggravations of being so close together all the time. I mean, you're talking more about whatever it is that you just went and seen that day, instead of arguing over dishes or whatever.
paper plates.
Yeah,
You don't have to worry about arguing over dishes.
And it gives you something to start the bonfire with.
This is true.
Let's see. What do you got next?
What is your favorite local thing to do, and what touristy things do you recommend / favorite restaurants? I like the beach.
Yeah, probably the beach. Yep.
That's my thing.
Yep, definitely the beaches. We go to,
We go to Folly Beach and Sullivan's Island.
It's a touristy beach.
Yeah.
It's Folly Beach.
Folly Beach is like the surfer shack kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Sullivan's Island is kind of like, I don't want to say hoity-toity, but like...
It's more locals.
Yeah.
It's more the people that live there, not...
and there's a lighthouse on that beach, too.
Yeah, that's cool. And touristy things, occasionally we'll go out to like Murrow's Inlet.
And Polly's Island.
And hit up some of them restaurants like Captain Dave's.
Yeah. A lot of plantations, too. There's a lot to do around here. I mean, we did a makeshift walking tour that we did on our own of even just downtown.
Yeah.
There's the aquarium that has a sea turtle rescue and rehabilitation. We got to watch a sea turtle having surgery, which is pretty neat.
All right, we only got
restaurants. Snapper Jacks, Folly Beach. Yes.
All right, moving on to the last three things because it's starting to get dark.
Yes. Does it ever get boring or frustrating? it gets frustrating.
It does get frustrating, especially when things break, or if there's somewhere that you wanted to be at a certain time and if traffic's just not cooperating with you or something like that. It gets frustrating.
Yeah.
I don't like setting up in the dark. Sometimes I get cranky while I'm driving.
Yeah, your GPS doesn't always tell you, your exit might be in a mile, but okay, is it like an A-B exit and you have to be in the left lane for the exit? Are you turning left right after the exit?
One time I had us go down a dirt road.
Yeah, don't do that. And then also I feel like setting up, at campgrounds got to be a little tedious after a while.
Yeah.
That's all part of it.
Yep. You learn to get past it.
How much does it cost to fill up the gas tank, and how big is the tank? We kind of already talked about that.
Yeah, you did kind of mention that already. It's like a 75-gallon gas tank. And typically, because we don't let it get empty, typically it costs us anywhere from $60 to $80 to fill it.
We also noticed the big fluctuation in gas prices.
Yeah. Here right now, it's around $2.60, between $2.60 and $2.70. When we were just in New York, it was
about $3.
Yeah, it was about $3. We did hit a stint in Pennsylvania where it was $3.19. So I mean that fluctuates, but on average, it's between it's around $80 would be the most. It'd be full. From half a tank. It would cost us, $160 to fill it with empty.
The last one. Hooray! What do you miss most about living in a house? Do you miss a garage?
I miss the garage. I miss the free laundry, and I miss the big fridge. And that's about it, really.
I miss counter space.
Yeah, the counter space. Counter space was nice, but I don't miss all the maintenance that goes with the house. So. What do you miss?
Pretty much the counter space. And I guess having all my books with me. Guilty pleasure, but one day, even if it's 20 years from now, I'll have a library somewhere.
Outside.
Yeah.
All right, and that's it. That's the last thing.
Hooray!
So we're done.
Thank you for watching all of our videos, and we're super sorry this is long, but it's our first year, so it's a lot to talk about.
Should do like an off the ranch exit. Thanks for watching Get Lost with Sean and Jen. We love you, and we'll see you next time.